435, 435, 4. Those are wonderful numbers. Just to think we started in 1985 with 2. The gas come in 2, and then the next year the cleaners came in for the 3rd one. And now we are up to 435. It's a day of celebration. It really is. Lenawee County is a giving community overall. But when they're informed and they see a good thing, the citizens of this county respond. And you see it every day in various charitable groups, the things they do. But the scholarships here is just, the reason I'm so proud of it, because it may be the highest number of scholarships in one county in this state, I don't know. But it's just wonderful.
Good afternoon. Boy, it never gets that quiet at home when I say that. My name is John Wonke. I'm the director of the Lenawee County Education Foundation. In case you wonder who our foundation what it does, we do a lot of things other than scholarships, but generally we receive gifts and grants from all different sources, including the donors today, and we distribute it for the benefit of the educational system in Lenawee County, which is all of the high schools, including Lenawee Christian. And today, you'll see over 400 scholarships given out to over 200 young people. I don't think probably the originators of this foundation ever dreamed that this would get this big. There's been over $6 million in scholarships granted since 1985. And there'll be almost $500,000 granted today. We'd really like to thank everyone for coming. I just noticed, ever since we've changed to a Sunday, the youth aren't running from here to there. They're not going to a sporting event or coming from a sporting event. You guys look fantastic. Very, very nice. I'd like to refer to the program for just a minute. There's several people I'd like to thank on the back cover here, inside cover. I'm not going to go through them, but we have a lot of partners in making this work. We have a lot of volunteers. I can't see with the lights on. Christy, are you out there someplace? All right. Just a quick, I'm going to single out Christy. And what I'm going to say is an oversimplification, but this application process starts in October with making sure the site's ready, visiting the high schools, and then it moves into December 1 when the software's launched and the application process starts. Goes through February, all kinds of questions during that time from students and counselors. And then as it goes into March, there's 160 different evaluation teams that make the selections. Then there's over 200 recipients. Those all have to be notified and identified as to who's going to show up today. And then we have this event. And every time I think about it, I'm thinking, wow. So Christy, raise your hand back there. Thank you very much. I know sometimes we make There's a lot of information to juggle, and I apologize for some of the mistakes we might have made today, but they're all correctable. It's not a matter of life and death. I'd also like to thank the providers that are here and the presenters. Over 160 scholarships, over $475,000 will be given out. Without you, this would not be happening, so thank you. On the back of the, about the 4th page in, important information, key things, and I've got to do this myself. Please silence your cell phones and electronic devices. There is a reception immediately following back here inside if it's raining. If it's not raining, we'll be inside and outside under the tent. This is all being recorded, so you'll be able to see it on DMP Communications Channel 22. And I know a few of the recipients and presenters could not make it today, and they apologized, and we will celebrate without them. Our moderators, who will be getting up shortly, will be, I'm going to start with the lady, Sue Ann Hammersmith, who's done it for us many times, Gary Clift. Those two are both on our board, and we meet quarterly. And then we have Mark Haig, our LISD superintendent. He's in his second year. Although we try to pronounce the names right, we invariably make a mistake, and we're going to apologize in advance. I read at the candlelight ceremony for hospice, and they even print them phonetically, and we make mistakes. So I apologize in advance. And then finally, I need to turn it over to our chairman of our foundation, Mr. Scholarship himself, Frank Dick, who will get up here, and he has some comments and he has some very important rules. So, thank you.
Well, good afternoon. 435. 435. And I repeat, 435. Isn't that something? That's how many scholarships have been awarded this year. And in lieu of that, in the fine tradition of the past, join with me as I commend each one of you in oh yay. Oh yay. Oh yay. It's a wonderful thing we have going with us. And, you know, we want to give thanks to everyone here. And we have a lengthy program, but I'd like to have you turn to the back of your page, this booklet. Back there is listed so many people who have contributed their time and their effort, including the board of directors of the Educational Foundation, the school board of the county, and you have the honorary ones. But all these people have given a lot of time and their effort to make this afternoon possible. So, but we're here to honor the students. That's why we're here today. And I like to talk to the students, as I do each year, and they say to you that this is a rare opportunity in a rare community. Lenawee County is probably one of the leading counties in the state in awarding scholarships, 435. But to the students, you might wonder to yourself, can I make it? Will I be successful? Can I really do college work? And what are some tips to make me more applicable to the student assignments and so forth? I think you can. I have confidence that you will. However, there are some rules and regulations that you need to consider each year. So now, those of you who are experienced in the audience, I think you remember them too. First, to the students, never miss a class. You say, what do you mean? What if I got a headache? What if I don't feel too well? Well, contrary to many medical advice, I suggest you go to class. Don't miss one, because a professor has organized it in such a way you acquire a great deal of learning. 2, always do your homework. It's essential to do your homework. Even after you get out of college, the same thing rules. The third rule, get to know your professor. That rule interests a lot of people. Why is that? Most professors really want to know you. They want to know your personality, your interests, your possibilities. They want to know about your family. Make sure you take an effort to meet with your professor. Number 4, oh gosh, give thanks to those who have given their love and their support. Our donors are many, and each year it amazes me how previous donors continue to donate. That's very, very important. Give thanks to the Lord for it, because without their help, without the community support, we wouldn't be here today. Okay, now, be cautious. Be cautious, be very cautious of your student loans. You have to pay them back. You just don't get this money, and then people forget. You have to pay it back, so be very careful to keep the limits of your student loans as low as it is possible. Oh, yes, and I think often that you have to think positive, because, you know, things just don't happen. You make them happen. It comes from the personality and the drive of the individual, which I'm sure you can do. So you just keep in mind what Abraham Lincoln said years and years ago. Because Abe Lincoln said this, I will prepare myself for someday my day will come. Well, so as we start the awarding, I still like to share with you the words of Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was working with President Roosevelt in World War II, and he gave a commencement speech. That speech is in Mid-America, probably the shortest commencement speech on record. And Churchill said this, never, never, never give up. And he sat down. Wouldn't that size me? Well, so in life itself, I think there's a guiding principle that's so dear to me and to my dear wife, Shirley. Do all the good you can, in all the ways you can, for all the people you can, as long as you ever can. So I say to you, success just doesn't happen. You make it happen. And congratulations to you and to all the donors. Thank you very much. He gets me a nice chair.
Just a quick minute of instruction. Students and presenters, as the sign people, for lack of a better term, they'll hold up what group is going to be beginning in line. Watch over here to your left. As you come up, there's a blue tape that goes all the way across the front here. If you would stand on that tape so that your family and friends can see you better, that would be very much appreciated. And as you realize how big your group is, you can kind of adjust. And then finally, as the presenter and the scholarship and the recipient are announced, if you would step forward and shake each other's hand or give a hug or whatever you prefer to do, that would be helpful. So I'm going to turn it over now to Gary Clift, who will get our presentation started.
This is truly an exciting time. I know Mr. Dick has been doing this since 1985. This is we think it's his 33rd year, and he started out with 2 scholarships. So what an outstanding job he's doing. So do we want to have Group 1 come forward, please? Okay, our first scholarship is the Adrian Community Preschool Scholarship in memory of Shirley Dick. The recipient is Tyler McAnally, and it's presented by Frank Dick. And Frank will just wave to you. The Adrian Community Preschool Scholarship in memory of Arden Monk, Emily Blaker, presented by Frank Dick, Holly Ray, and Louis Kleinsmith. The Carlo Heikkinen Memorial Scholarship goes to Claire Marks Wilt, unable to be with us today. The John Dawson Memorial Scholarship, Adrian Collar Teacher Education, Isabel Anderson, presented by Frank Dick. The Frank and Shirley Dick Lenawee Country Club Scholarship, Rebecca Engel, presented by Frank Dick and Janet Grimes. The Frank and Shirley Dick Health Scholarship goes to Kira Horn, presented by Frank Dick. The Lenawee County Fair Queen, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, goes to Ashley Pelham. And that's presented by, of course, Frank Dick and Jane Neer and Karen Robach. The Lenawee County Fair Queen first runner-up, Caitlin Luck, unable to be with us today. The Lenawee County Fair Queen second runner-up, Brianna Hoffman, presented by Frank Dick, Jane Neer, and Karen Robach. And the Shirley Dick Memorial PEO Scholarship goes to Mary Bossard, presented by Frank Dick and Deanna Hartley. Let's have a nice warm round of applause for these recipients.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe. 14 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, this year she celebrated her 50th wedding anniversary.
Is that why you've taken off your jeans?
No, I've taken off my jeans to prove the link between jeans and the fight against breast cancer.
Well, that's interesting. Do I have to take off my jeans?
No, nobody has to take off their jeans, Mom, but everybody has to go to denimday.com right now. I'll explain everything, dress code optional.
Apparently. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Learn more at denimday.com.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
College gets more expensive each year, and it's harder for students to be involved and have a job and pay for college and to do everything. It's just hard to find that balance. And so when they have someone in the community who has been through that and who is able and willing to help, I think that's just great. And so I want to be that supportive because I'm getting so much support today and just any day, and I'd like to just do that for the kids growing up. It's just great to know that the community has your back and that they're supporting you, even though that that you may be leaving the town or the city or anything like that, but you grew up here and you're always going to give back, and that's kind of what my goal is because they gave so much to me and I'd like to give so much back.
Okay, our next scholarship is the Adrian Women's Club in memory of Thelma Swigert. The recipients are Jennifer Onthrop and Casey Reed, presented by Spencer Warren. The Alan Howard Memorial Criminal Justice Scholarship goes to Reese Dillard, presented to Brad Vanderloosen. the Allen Howard Memorial Fire EMS Scholarship. Rebecca Manuel was unable to be with us today. The Benjamin Prettyman Memorial Scholarship goes to Mackenzie John Cox, presented by Vicki and Lee Prettyman. The Bradford and Bronson Mansfield Business Scholarship goes to Haley Petrowski, unable to be with us today. The Cambridge Township Firefighters and Rescue Association Andrew M. Schultz Memorial Scholarship goes to Ashley Pelham, presented by Chuck Schultz. The Captain Mark Irwin Memorial Scholarship goes to Reland Bennett, presented by Chuck Schultz. And the Sergeant Greg Hunt Memorial Scholarship goes to Ryan Carney, presented by Chuck Schultz. Yeah, great. And now I'd like to introduce Sue Hammersmith.
The Charles and Glenna Tipton First Generation Scholarships are presented by Dave Prey to Alicia Dussault, Alexanne Ferguson, Alexia Ferguson, Haley Green, Alexis Kelly, Eva Marshall, and Cheyenne Stone. The Don and Lucy Mackey Memorial Health Scholarship is presented by Kay Reeves to Kelsey Mullen. The Eric Brandeberry Memorial Scholarship is presented by Rick Brandeberry to Claire Cox, Noah Gilson, Michaela McGovern-Akins, Cassandra Nix, and Kylie Varner. And the Aaron Christine Grabe Memorial Scholarship is presented by Ernie Grabe to Matthew Doyle. The Glenn Martek Memorial Scholarship is presented to Ridge Foco by Joe Lucy. The Gordy Wuthrich Memorial Scholarship is presented by Deb Wuthrich to Noah Willett. The Gregory Sprague Memorial Health Scholarship is presented by Sarah Salenbean and Jan Sprague to Leah Lopkovich. The Harry and Joanne Steele Memorial Scholarship is presented by Susan Steele and Shannon Brady to Ashley Hofflander. The Harry, Bernice, and Marta Jean Duncan Scholarship goes to Safka Frost, who is unable to be here today. The Harvey and Doris Carpenter Scholarship is presented by Vicki Carpenter to Julia Gonzalez. The James and Gladys Robidoux Memorial Scholarship is presented by Paula Trentman to Claire Marsh. The John Wyatt Senior Memorial Community Service Scholarship is presented by Paula Trentman to Monica Graham and Jennifer Saxton. Congratulations to this group. And you know,
good afternoon. As the next group comes up, they actually want me to stall a little bit. Probably not what you want to hear in the audience, but give our photographer a chance. One of the things John was mentioning at the beginning, that in addition to the scholarships, there are a number of other functions that the foundation either sponsors or funds throughout the year, and one of them is the Teacher Mini Grant Program, where thousands of dollars since the inception of the foundation have been given out. And in looking around the room, I happen to notice there were a lot of educators in the room as well today. So we remind you to keep your eye open for those, and they're actually going to be delivering some surprise I almost said scholarships, I'm sorry, but the grants to the classrooms here in the near future once we wrap up this event in the coming weeks. All right, Group 5, favorite group. Cassie Wingard Scholarship today is presented by Dale Wingard and Danny Roche. Goes to Faith Ford. The Larry C. Camp Memorial Scholarship, presented by Melody Adams, goes to Nathan Howard. The Lawn Family Scholarship, presented by Jenny Engel, goes to Gregory Lamprecht Carson and to Emily Whaley. The Lloyd Rusink Memorial Scholarship, presented by Virginia Clark, goes to Brianna Hoffman. The Long Family Scholarship Foundation Scholarship in memory of Jacqueline Long Carson, presented by Norman, Pat, and Jeffrey Long, goes to Alexis Dickerson. Let's have a hand for this entire group. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Art Scholarship, presented by Karen Kane, goes to Nina Trevino, who is unable to be with us today. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Art Scholarship Renewal, presented also by Karen Kane, goes to Stevie Gonzalez. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Engineering Scholarship, presented also by Karen Kane, goes to Kelly Gotham. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Engineering Scholarship Renewal, presented by Karen Kane, goes to Jaron Warner. The N. Lawrence Francoeur Leadership Scholarship, presented by Mary Francoeur Dirksen, goes to Evelyn Calvo. The Patricia and Joseph Koska Memorial Scholarship, presented by Jessica Stanford, goes to Annette Miller. The Pauline and Sebastian Pizzana Memorial Scholarship, presented by BJ and Melissa Horn, goes to Emma Freshcorn. The Richard and Hazel Berlin Memorial Scholarship Renewal, unable to be with us today, is Kennedy Mary.
I wanted to talk just for a minute about one of our other programs that the Lenawee Education Foundation does, and that is Strokes for Students. And every year we have a golf tournament. Pat Farver has led us in this endeavor forever, and we've raised, I think, about $500,000 doing this. Kids from throughout the county come and play with teams, and we raise lots of money for scholarships and special projects and mini grants and all kinds of things like that. So proud to be a part of this organization. Okay, the Roy E. Freeman Memorial Scholarship, presented by Jackie Freeman, goes to Michelle Haig. The Tammy Fisher Memorial Scholarship, presented by Amanda Spoon, goes to Carson Brown. The Rex and Mary Martin Scholarship, presented by Spencer Warren, goes to Lainey Spradlin. The Walter J. and Lita Tom R. McNeil Memorial Scholarship, presented by Stacy Johnson, goes to Brooklyn Beard. Mallory Muller and Megan Scholl could not be with us today. The William Kale Popick Memorial Scholarship, presented by Holly Popick, goes to Rihanna Marilot. The Addison Pharmacy Scholarship, presented by Doug Hybrader, goes to Hannah Abbott. The Adrian Breakfast Lions Club Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Caden Carter. The Anderson Development Company Adrian High School Scholarship, presented by Trisina Harja, goes to Roban Edwards. And the Anderson Development Environmental Scholarship, presented by Jamie Williams, goes to Ryan Carney and Carter Zimmerman. Let's have a round of applause for this group. The Adrian College Scholarship, presented by Frank Rebar, goes to Paxton Bleach, Ryan Carney, Holly Carpenter, Alex Sanchez Henry, Caitlin Clegg, Hunter Fox, Aiden French, Luke Gear, Brianna Hoffman, Andrew Rebar, Mackenzie Knorr, Jake Krasowski, Michelle Laurie could not be with us, Brittany Morton, Austin Nichols, Heteris Ramirez, Jasmine Ramirez, Gabriella Rothliff could not be with us, Colton Robinson, Paxton Rodriguez could not be with us, and Jennifer Saxton. Could we please have a round of applause for this group?
The Adrian First United Methodist Church Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, is presented by Kurt Hartung to Hannah Barr. The Adrian Garden Club Scholarship is presented by Linda Freeborn and Linda Calhoun to Lauren Taylor. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Madison High School Scholarship is presented by Jim Hartley to Emma Freshcorn. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Madison High School Scholarship Renewal goes to Callie Halsey, and that's also presented by Jim Hartley. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Service Above Self goes to Emily Van Sickle, presented by Jim Hartley. And Jim is also presenting the Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Service Above Self Renewal to Rebecca Simmons. The Adrian Noon Rotary Club Siena Heights University Dr. Robert Brady Scholarship is presented by Dr. Robert Brady to Cheyenne Halsey. The Adrian Rotary Club Four-Way Test Essay Scholarship is presented by Catherine Sala to Katie Hefner. And the Alan and Julie Britton MSU Scholarship is presented by Alan and Julie Britton to Matthew Doyle and Rebecca Vicadol. Let's give a big round of applause to this group. The Alan and Nydia Myers Foundation Scholarship is presented by Kim Cook and Paris Young to Carly Allison, Austin Escador, Alex Foss, Noah Gilson, Ethan Harsh, Valerie Holden, Alexander Lammers, Kaylee Malik, Matthew Nowak Roqueford, Livia Osworth, Catherine Parr, Robert Shear, Matthew Single, Madeline Stammen, Ian Thompson, Rosie Vasquez, and Corbin Wright. The Nydia Myers Memorial Scholarship for Chemistry is presented by Kim Cook and Paris Young to Lucas Minusak. And the Alvin and Clara Schwab Scholarship is presented by Mary Wells to Brooke Katerina and Lauren Richardson. Let's give this group a big round of applause.
The American Legion Auxiliary, Underwood Orr, Unit 34 in Tecumseh. Scholarship presented by Debbie Rentschler goes to Trenton Doyle. And also to Bryn Nevins. The American Legion Post 97, scholarship funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by William Sanderson, goes to Andrew Rebar. The Athena Lenaway Scholarship presented by Margaret Gritzmaker goes to Jordan Scholes, who is unable to be here today. The Bixby Medical Center Auxiliary Dilla Miller Memorial Scholarship presented by Jim Nicholas and Brandon Hudson goes to Haley Carpenter, and also to Grant Gifford, who is unable to be here today. The Bixby Medical Center Auxiliary Scholarship Renewal, again presented by Jim Nicholas and Brandon Hudson, goes to James Gibson, Michelle Haig, Leah Lopkovich, Xavier McGowan, who's unable to be here, Morgan Monahan, unable to be here, and Riley Zig. The Bixby Medical Center Auxiliary Scholarship Renewal, also presented by Jim and Brandon, goes to Madison Gleckner, Marana Jovic, and Mariah Lanou, who is unable to be here, Natalie Perry, and Rachel Smelzer, also unable to be here today. Let's have a round for this group.
In 2019, I plan to get my associate's degree in applied science and hopefully pursue a job as a medical assistant. I want to work in a pediatric office because currently I'm working at a preschool and I absolutely love to work with kids. So I want a job where I'm working with kids but also using my degree. So scholarships, they are a lot of hard work. Like, you have to look for them. There's essays and stuff. But they do pay off. It's like you said, it's free money. So, I mean, who doesn't want free money?
The Bobby L. Williams Annual Youth Citizen Scholarship presented by John Wonke goes to Austin Hall and Jacob Teskey. We'll shake your guys. Nobody there for you. Braceway Incorporated Engineering Scholarship presented by Taylor Haber goes to Matthew Single. Also presented by Taylor Haber is the Braceway Incorporated Engineering Scholarship Renewal, goes to Kyle Lakatos, Brianna Willanese, unable to be here today, and Zachary Whitty. Also presented by Taylor is the Braceway Incorporated Leadership Scholarship, which goes to Trevor Pilbeam. The Braceway Incorporated Leadership Scholarship Renewal this year goes to Ashton Lucas, Xavier McGowan, unable to be here, and Michael Peterson. The Braceway Incorporated STEM Innovation Scholarship, presented by Taylor Haber, goes to Mary Bossard. And finally, the Braceway Incorporated STEM Innovation Scholarship Renewal goes to Jordan Krieger and Andrew Martin and Jacob Mason, unable to be here today. Let's have a round of applause for this group.
One other thing that the foundation does that you may or may not be aware of, and you may have a child or a grandchild that is not college bound and is trying to find something else to do for a career. We have the Ronald Reeves Job Readiness Training Grants that are available through our foundation, and it's for training for non-degreed programs. And many of you may know there's a large need in the trades, advanced manufacturing, medical technology, various other things that do not require a four-year degree. So keep that in mind. The application is on our website, and we work with Michigan Works to make sure that we can get the most dollars for training for your young person. So thank you.
The next scholarship is the CJ and Marcella Barricolo Scholarship, presented by Carla Barricolo. The Cambridge Township Firefighters and Rescue Scholarship, presented by Chuck Schultz to Waverly Harvey. I'm sorry, I didn't, yep. I'm screwing up, aren't I? The Carlos and Norma Long Agricultural Scholarship, presented by Gary McDowell to Haley Green. The Community in Schools of Lenawee Scholarship, presented by Ryan Seiler to Noah Gilson. The Community Service Scholarships, presented by Tim Robinson to Taylor Maynard, Robon Edwards, Hunter Fox, Emma Gaffner, Caitlin Clegg, Joanna Ladd, Daniel Folks, Carter Baker Wallerstein, Laney Spraglin, Waverly Harvey, Matthew Carey, and Joshua Bear. Let's give them a big round of applause. Perfect. The next scholarship is Culver's of Adrian Scholarship, presented by Gary Clift to Ridge Focal.
Thank you.
The Dick and Jan Parson First Generation Scholarship, presented by Kay Reeves to Zada Patterson. The Disabled American Veterans Scholarship, presented by Gerald Cool, Jolyn Cutler, and Mike Poston to Abigail Walden. And the Don and Becky Fry Scholarship, presented by Don and Becky to James Morrison, who could not be here. The Doug Spade Agricultural Scholarship, presented by Dale Wingard to Noah Willett. The Doug Spade Public Service Scholarship, presented by Dale Wingard to Robon Edwards. The Doug Spade Special Education Scholarship, presented by Dale Wingard to Sean Pfeiffer. and the Dr. Kelly Chai and Loizo Cristodo Debate Scholarship. Could I have butchered that any better than that? To Alexa Ferguson. All right, give them a big round of applause, please.
The Elizabeth Ruthroff Wilson Dedicated Musician Award is presented by Teresa Powers to Haley LaForge and Alexander Lammers. The Elizabeth Wilson Memorial Scholarship is presented by Teresa Powers to Krista Schaff. The Elizabeth Wilson Memorial College Scholarship Renewal is presented by Teresa Powers to Kara Murray, and also Jordan Pelfrey and Rebecca Shields, who cannot be here today. The Wes and Teresa Powers Tecumseh Schools Orchestra College Scholarship is presented by Teresa Powers to Hannah Kellum and to Alexander Lammers. The Fairfield Chapter 224 Order of Eastern Star Thelma Swigert Memorial Scholarship is presented by Carolyn Ambrose to Corbin Wright. And the Farver Foundation Business Scholarship is presented by Pat Farver to Haley Carpenter and to Nicholas McClure. And Haley Petrowski is unable to be here today. Let's give these scholarship recipients a round of applause. The FFA Alumni Scholarship is presented by Ken Bollinger to Lauren Taylor. The FFA Scholarship Lenawee County is presented by Ken Bollinger to Emma Gaffner and to Brianna Hoffman. The First Federal Bank Hispanic Scholarship is presented by Rachel Emery to Amelia Alvarez. The Frank and Shirley Dick Lenawee Economic Development Corporation Scholarship is presented by Tim Robinson to Fletcher Thorpe. The Free to Play Scholarship is presented by Gary and Cindy Gray to Hunter Fox and to Lucas Manuzak. The Gray Institute Scholarship is presented by Gary and Cindy Gray to Livia Osworth and to Jack Wilson. The Gleaner Life Insurance Society Scholarship is presented by Deb Elliott to Alexis McCullough, Anna Vanderhoff, Cameron Himman, Cole Salenbean, Gage Bergman, Robon Edwards, and Travis Carson. Let's give this group a round of applause.
The Grabe Family Scholarship, presented by Ernie Grabe, is awarded to Robert Shear. The Health Specialist of Lenawee, presented by Doris Goodlock, goes to Kylie Varner. The Herrick Medical Center Auxiliary Scholarship, presented by Vicki Felton, goes to Dominic Arkinson, Megan Bauer, Bryn Nevins, and Allison Schmidt. The Intiva Products Scholarship will be presented by Kenneth Smith, goes to Zachary Burke. The Janet McDowell Lenawee County Debate League Scholarship, presented by Janet McDowell, goes to Allison Weber. The Joan Voorhees Yiter and Lyle Yiter Scholarship, presented by Joan and Jeff Yiter, goes to Carson Abbey. The Kapnick Insurance Group Non-Traditional Scholarship, presented by Marn Davies, goes to Stevie Gonzalez. And the Kelly Carter Scholarship, presented by John Wanke, goes to Michelle Haig. If we could get a round of applause for this group. Unable to be here today is Evan Rissinger, who is presented the Land Scholarship. The Lenape District Boy Scout Scholarship, presented by Greg Dumars, goes to Michael Scholes. The Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship, presented by Cecilia Warwick, goes to Jenna Johnston and to Jasmine Ramirez. The Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship, Rome Blue Ribbons, in honor of Harvey and Rose Warwick, presented by Ashley Warwick, goes to Alexis McCullough, who's unable to be here today. Lenawee County 4-H Council Scholarship in memory of Jeff Marvin, presented by Janice Montavlo, goes to Carter Baker Wallerstein. The Lenawee County 4-H Council Scholarship in memory of Kevin Barrett, presented by Kendra and Kendall Barrett, goes to Alexis McCullough. The Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship in memory of Marge Jackson, also presented by Cecilia Warwick, goes to Bailey Van Brunt. The Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship Junior Livestock in memory of Tori Clark, Lindy Bailey, and Brian McMillan, presented by Dave Clark and George McMillan. This year goes to Carly Allison, Savannah Burkett, Austin Escadar, Emily Golub, Michaela Nothinger, Cameron Warner, Christy Wenk, and Noah Willett. If we could have a big round of applause for this group.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions.
Good luck, big guy.
His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
I didn't realize how expensive college actually was until I actually was looking into it. So just to have a couple of scholarships means a lot to me because that's really expensive. I mean, it's really important to me because just knowing that I can't really afford it. Hopefully I'm in a position one day where I can help other people out, just like I'm being helped out right now. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait till the last minute to do 15 essays. If you do 1 or 2 a week and you just spread it out it makes it a lot easier, and you'll be surprised how many you actually can get done if you just stay consistent and do a couple a week. It makes the load a lot easier.
Okay, our next scholarship is the Lenawee County Friends of 4-H FFA Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Ken Brayton to Brianna Hoffman. The Lenawee County Association of Realtors Scholarship, presented by Mike Aleman to Joshua Bauer. The Lenawee County Association of School Boards Special Education Scholarship, presented by Dale Wingard to Emma Gaffner. The Lenawee County Commissioner's Scholarship, presented by Carol Casey Bolton to Bree Romowski. The Lenawee County NAACP Citizen Scholarship, presented by Deanna Hennigan to Emilio and Anicio Paniagua. The Lenawee County Public Educator Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Mark Haig to Eric Smith. The Lenawee County Superintendent's Association Scholarship, presented by Mark Haig to Alyssa Dale, could not be here today. The Lenawee County Republican Party Scholarship, presented by Jeff Yeiter to Cassandra Harris. Please give a round of applause to this group. Yeah. Okay, the Lenawee County Healthcare Education Fund Scholarship, presented by Katie Young to Hannah Bartenslager. Brooke Kentrina could not be here today. Bailey Dominic, Alex Foss, Emma Freshcorn, Morgan Gardner, Gemma Gilbson, Michelle Haig, Elizabeth Alieve, Mirjaya Jovovic, Chloe Nepper, Morgan Monahan could not be here today, Brian Nevins, Lauren Rachel, and Harvey Whitehead. The Lenawee Healthcare Education Fund Scholarship Renewal, presented by Katie Young. Logan Crane could not be here today. Mackenzie Dieters, Kelsey Fisher, Sarah Ford could not be here with us. Leah Labokovich, Javion McGowan could not be with us today. Natalie Perry could not be with us today. Michaela Rosenberg could not be with us today. Rachel Schmierzer could not be with us today. Hannah Swerpel and Haley Whitehead. Please give a round of applause for this great group.
The LISD Tech Center Scholarships, Bell and Clift Automotive Scholarship, is presented by Gary Clift to Grace Gruber. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Mark Feaster Memorial, funded by Suburban Collection, is presented by Angela Pilbeam to Grace Gruber. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Bruce Stevens Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, is presented by Bruce Stevens to Robon Edwards. The LISD Tech Center Scholarship Citizens Gas Fuel Company Scholarship is presented by Joe Lucy to Jordan Henley. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Daniel Giroux Memorial Scholarship is presented by Alyssa Risner to Anthony Greenman. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Gleaner Life Insurance Society is presented by Deb Elliott to Jasmine Ramirez. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Lenawee County Association of Home Builders is presented by Judy Carlisle to Julie Tokars. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Lenawee County Dental Community Scholarship is presented by Angela Pilbeam to Lydia Stoner. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Matthew D. Lips Memorial Scholarship is presented by Dave and Linda Lips to Gregory Lamprecht Carson. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships Tim and Tabitha Vergotti Scholarship is presented by John Wonke to Emma Freshcorn. Let's give this group a round of applause. The Lucy Wolcott Barnum Chapter DAR Scholarship is presented by Maxine Smith to Austin Escador, Alexanne Ferguson, and Cassandra Nix. The Maxwell Family Scholarship is presented by David Maxwell to Ashley Miner. The Meyer Scholarship is presented by Ben Negron to Stevie Gonzalez. The Milton C. and Margaret L. Porter Adrian College Teacher Education Scholarship is presented by Gary McDowell to Isabel Anderson. The Milton C. and Margaret L. Porter Special Education Scholarship is presented by Gary McDowell to Madison Bachman. The Mission Sports Performance Stewardship Award is presented by Eric Driver to Madison Overton Randall and to Brendan Wyatt. The Otto and Marion Myers Scholarships are presented by Katie Meyer to Chelsea Eatman, Taylor Jones, Leah Rayburn, and Melissa Shear, and Natalie Perry is unable to be with us today. How about a round of applause?
I'm going to start with the Partners in Hope Scholarship presented by Stanley Keene. That goes to Michelle Lohr, who is unable to be here today. The Ron Reeves Memorial Adrian College Scholarship presented by Stanley Keene goes to Isaac Cox. The Stanley Keene Adrian College Scholarship, also presented by Mr. Keene, goes to Hunter Fox. The Richard German Scholarship, presented by Richard German, goes to Kelsey Fisher. The Richard L. German Criminal Justice Scholarship, presented by Richard German, goes to Jared Burns. Thank you. While the next group's coming up, I'll read. There were about 3 more scholarships there where the recipients weren't able to be here today, but I would like to recognize them. The Rick Gurgen Adrian College Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, goes to Tyler Van Brandt. The Robert and Ardith Hinsdale Agribusiness Scholarship goes to Eliza Simpkins. And then finally, the Sister Eileen Rice Teacher Education Scholarship was awarded to Jordan Scholes. All right. This next large group is our Siena Heights University Scholarship, presented by Nicole Hood and Trudy Moore. First is Kyla Birchmeyer, Sierra Camacho, Courtney Carter. Unable to be with us today was Erica Casares, Reese Dillard, Trenton Doyle, Liam Elliott, Alexia Ferguson, Emma Gaffner, Morgan Gardner, Nicholas Grigg, Cheyenne Halsey, Kendall Heron, Corey Knapp, Dakota Knieper, Michaela McGovern-Akins, Grady Morlock, Alexis Morton, Jesse Mullins, there we go, Lizette Nava, Samantha Payne, Gabriella Ratliff, Colton Robertson, Kaylee Scudder, Jacob Swanson, Jacob Taskey, Ben Townsend, Brendan Wood, and Cedric Yatzik.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. HSF.net.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund breeding.
Why do you not get me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Today is really cool. It feels really good to be recognized. It's tough, you know. College is a lot of money, and I've been fortunate enough to get the money where I can get it, and you know, it makes me feel better about going into a field that I really want to go into. The prompts are not easy. They're things you really have to think about and put your own real opinions into, and you can't just formulate. A lot of things you don't have, an opinion right on the spot. They're very adulty questions. So keep working hard. Make sure you have good things to say about yourself, like good volunteering, things that you've done, and positive academic things and achievements, because that definitely helps, because a lot of them you have to get a little braggy on them, and you have to have good things to talk about when the time comes. So.
Okay, the next scholarship is the Spring Arbor University Scholarship presented by Ron Griffith. 2, Ashley Ebersol could not be with us today. Reggie Foucault, Evany Schmidt, Peyton Smith, and Owen Swan could not be with us today. The Steve Krusich JC LISD Academy Scholarship, presented by Kim Dusso, to Corbin Wright. And the Strokes for Students Scholarship, presented by Pat Farver, to Emily Bartenslager, Ashley Smith, Griffin Dempsey, Logan Hudson, Josley Scott, Nicholas Stoner, Andrea Lee, Jordan Henley, Emma Freshcorn, Evany Schmidt, Bailey Van Brunt. Noah Haig could not be with us today, and Claire Marsh. Please give this group a warm round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Our next scholarship is the Tecumseh Kiwanis Scholarship, presented by Susan Gilmore, to Amber Belvin, Jackson Clary, Janelle Crawford, Lamont Elliott, Alex Foss, Emily Goba, Jessica Kane, Alexander Lammers, Lucas Manuzak, Brian Nevins, Peyton Norkey, Matthew Norwalk Rockford, Carly Swan, Owen Swan could not be with us today, and Ian Thompson. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Coach Vic Lawson Family Scholarship, presented by Henry Mensing to Safa Frost, could not be with us today. And the Tecumseh Schools Foundation Bedore Family Scholarship, presented by Henry Mensing to Carly Swan, and Victoria Tinsley could not be with us today. Please give this group a round of applause.
The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Bertha LaPointe Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Amelia Alvarez, Joshua Bauer, Jackson Clary, Noah Kratz, Jennifer Entrup, Jessica Kane, Albany Lagore, Alexander Lammers, Claire Marsh, Bryn Nevins, and Elizabeth Wellman. And Brooke Katerina was unable to be with us today. The Tecumseh Area Soccer Club Scholarship is presented by Dave Prey to Ryan Sharp and Elizabeth Wellman. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Eleanor Johnson Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Nicholas McClure, Peyton Norkey, Ryan Sharp, Haley Whitehead, and Brianna Weimer, and Monica Tchaikovsky was unable to be with us today. Let's give this group a round of applause. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Gerald Nelson Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Alyssa Dussault, Kelly Gotham, Ethan Harsh, Colin Thompson, Ian Thompson, and Harley Whitehead, and Rachel Sanders is unable to be with us. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Irene Bolt Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Courtney Carter. The Tecumseh Youth Theater Scholarship is presented by Doug Bella to Courtney Carter. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Lillian Butoff Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Emily Alderman, Abigail Lawson, and Claire Marks Wilt and Carly Marsh are unable to be with us. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Louise Lawson Family Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Gabriella Ringman. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Mensing Family Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Alex Foss. And the Coberly Legacy Scholarship is presented by Michelle Coberly McLemore to Ashley Hofflander. Let's give this group a round of applause.
The David S. Hickman Leadership Scholarship, presented by David Hickman, goes to Courtney Kiernan. The David Hickman Leadership Scholarship Renewal, also presented by Mr. Hickman, goes to Jared Caxor, who's unable to be here today. The Mulligan Scholarship, presented by David Hickman, goes to Lauren Gordon. The Fab Four Scholarship, presented by Marnie Davies, goes to Lauren Gordon. The Thomas E. Marvin Scholarship, presented by Charlene Cast, goes to the following individuals: Kayla Bozak, Alex Foss, Ethan Harsh, Michaela Jenkins, Courtney Kiernan, Brittany Morton, Mario Rabataro, Shayna San, Ebony Schmidt, Katie Whaley, Harley Whitehead. And the Tipton Pythian Sisters Scholarship, presented by Barbara Johnston, goes to the following: Courtney Kiernan and Elizabeth Wellman. Congratulations. The TLC Community Credit Union Scholarship is presented today by Carrie Zupke and Lily Worm. Goes to Lucas Manuzak, and Joby Schultz. The William J. Ross Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented today by Barbara Ross, goes to Andrew Valdez. Zonta International of Lenawee County Scholarship, presented by Janice Montavlo and Angie Verner, goes to Eva Marshall and Lindsay Olson. Let's have a round of applause.
Well, it was quite a day, wasn't it? This is always such a nice celebration and a family event to come and support our young people. We do have a reception outside, and it looks like the weather is cleared for us. So we have a tent, and for those that do not want to go out in the tent, you can be inside. Just simple coffee, lemonade, cookies, nothing fancy, but you can get to know the presenter or donor of the scholarship and visit. So we really appreciate everyone that helped on the event today. Our moderators, I can tell you that's a tough gig to moderate and read names that you have no idea how they might be pronounced properly. But we thank you all for coming. We hope you enjoyed the event, and have a good day. Thank you.